the defense of the eastern flank. These forces, comprised of aviation element and some ground forces, will move inside the European area of operations to NATO's northeastern and southeastern flanks in the coming days, and we expect them to be in place later this week. They include an infantry battalion task force of approximately 800 personnel. They'll be moving from Italy to the Baltic region. It's a movement of up to 8 F-35 strike fighters from Germany to several operating locations along the eastern flank. A battalion of attack aviation, specifically 20 AH-64 helicopters from Germany, again to the Baltic region. And an attack aviation task force, which is 12 AH-64 helicopters, will move from Greece to Poland. The additional personnel are being repositioned to reassure our NATO allies, deter any potential aggression against NATO member states, and train with host nation forces. And of course, they'll continue to report to General Todd Walters, the commander of U.S. European Command. These moves are temporary. I want to stress that. They're temporary in nature, and they are part of the more than 90,000 U.S. troops that are already in Europe that are both there on rotational as well as permanent orders. And of course, as you know, the U.S. maintains significant numbers of combat-capable forces in Europe. Relatedly, U.S. Army Europe and Africa will be kicking off exercise Sabre Strike 22 later this month. The exercise will run through March with approximately 13,000 participants from 13 countries. Sabre Strike has been held every 2 years since 2010. This is the next year for it. It is scheduled during the wintertime to help demonstrate the ability to operate in austere conditions. The 5th Corps, Army 5th Corps, will provide command and control for the exercise. And conducting Sabre Strike now, we believe, demonstrates that U.S. forces in Europe can simultaneously support ongoing operations and regularly scheduled training without any degradation in support to our NATO allies and partners. Training events like Sabre Strike are planned well in advance, and this one was, and demonstrate that NATO allies and partners are stronger together, and through training and interoperability exercises, get stronger together. Lastly, I think you may have seen that the Secretary did approve a couple of requests for National Guard support here in the Capital Region. He approved that request yesterday. Those requests came from the D.C. government, their emergency management agency, as well as the U.S. Capitol Police. All told, among the two requests, it's about 700 Guards personnel and about 50 vehicles. They are designed for traffic support in anticipation of potential challenges to traffic here in the D.C. area surrounding some potential protest activity. I want to stress again that it's a relatively small number here, about 700, and they will be supporting traffic support needs. That's their goal. That's their mission. And with that, we'll take questions. Lita.
John, the people are talking about a potential invasion by Russia of a large scale being imminent. Can you talk about what the U.S. has seen today that may be different than what it has seen in recent days, why this has become sort of now imminent? Have you seen Russian troops move into Luhansk and Donetsk? Have you seen them move into that Donbass region? And have you seen them move further into Ukraine beyond those two regions?
Okay, lot there. On the Donetsk and Luhansk, as you've heard administration officials say before, we do believe that marks the beginning of an invasion. We certainly believe that additional Russian military forces are moving into that region, not beyond that region that we have seen, but we can't confirm with any great specificity the numbers and what the formations are, what the capabilities are, but we certainly believe that that's happening. As for your larger question, Lita, without speaking to specific timing, because only Mr. Putin knows what the timing is here, what I would tell you is that we continue to see him form his capabilities in such a way that leads us to believe that we are potentially close to some sort of action. Again, what that action is going to be and exactly on what timeline, we can't be sure. But what we see is that Russian forces continue to assemble closer to the border and put themselves in an advanced stage of readiness to act, to conduct military action in Ukraine, again, at virtually any time now. We believe that that they are ready. I'll just leave it at that. They're ready. Jen.
John, there are reports of a chemical plant in Crimea that's been evacuated. This is the kind of location that was described to us by Secretary Blinken as a possible staged provocation. Are you seeing reports of any sort of preparations either for an attack on a chemical plant, or what are you seeing?
I don't have any specifics on that claim, but it is of a piece of the kinds of ridiculous claims that we have seen the Russians make in recent days of alleged provocations or assaults and attacks unprovoked on their people. So again, no knowledge of this particular one, but again, we've been seeing this over now recent days. These claims of whether they're acts of terror or acts of violence, unprovoked shelling of Russian forces or Russian separatists, all again that is of a piece of the playbook that we have seen the Russians use time and time again. I have no specific knowledge about this particular report, but again, it fits perfectly into the Russian disinformation playbook.
Did the U.S. government help protect the Ukrainian government from this denial of service attack, the cyber attack? Did you help them with preparations for how to to get back online quickly after such an attack?
So first, I don't think we're in a position to attribute these cyber disruptions that you're talking about. I assume you're talking about the various websites, the government websites that were taken offline. What I would just tell you, broadly speaking, Jen, is that we have provided some cyber resilience training and assistance to the Ukrainians, and I won't go beyond that in terms of these specific attacks. Again, not in a position right now to attribute them to any one entity. I would just say that, again, this is of a piece of a Russian playbook, which is to disrupt in cyberspace.